My name is Beatrice Adu. Thank you very much for joining us. Teachers are responsible for 6% of the 12,048 cases of teenage pregnancies in the Central Region in 2016, according to the Ghana Health Service. The 12,048 figure is a slight drop from the previous year's figure of over 14,000 cases of teenage pregnancy. This came up during the Central Regional Health Performance Review at the University of Cape Coast. According to Joy News' Central Regional Correspondent Richard Kwejo Nyako, the Ghana Health Service did not understand why the phenomenon of teenage pregnancy is so persistent over the years.
We are at the University of Cape Coast, where the 2016 is being reviewed by the Ghana Health Service in the Central Region, and they've been talking critically about teenage pregnancy, about maternal mortality, and also about HIV. According to their statistics, 90 women died in their bid to give life. And then on the side of teenage pregnancy, we look at the statistics from 2014, it was 13,355, 2015 it was 13,048, and 2016, the year under review, it was 12,048. And this is really alarming. And according to the Ghana Health Service, they are taking steps to ensure that they reduce the figures drastically. And so that is why they sought to go behind these figures to actually understand who are impregnating these teenage girls. They also even added that about 371 of these girls who got pregnant were below 14 years, and that is really ridiculous and alarming. We have got Dr. Kakari.
It means that out of every 100 pregnant women, 14 are teenagers. I mean, they are not mature. I show that when they are below 19, the probability that they will face challenges and possibly die is very high. So they are not mature. The parents and everything is not mature. So as you grow older, then you get mature. So it's alarming. I mean, we don't want it. I mean, it's a community problem. It starts from the community. So you have a generation which is behaving as such. So we are going to put in place strategies and engage the communities and then do a lot of health promotive and preventive activities to make sure that it doesn't happen in the generations which are following. So after dealing with the generations which are, then probably we'll start seeing results in about 3-4 years.
Let's look at something interesting that you added to this year's figures, and you went behind these figures to actually know those, the profession of these people that impregnated these children. Very interesting. And so, I mean, when you found out that, I mean, 5.9 were teachers and 17.8 were peasant farmers and all of that, what was your immediate reaction?
There may be some aspects which may be surprising, not in terms of what you're asking, but in terms of, see, the age of the men who impregnated them. Now you found out that about 1.1% also children below 13 years. That one is a bit surprising and so. But for the people who get them pregnant, it's not surprising. But now it helps us, it makes us see the people we are going to target for the various aspects of interactions. Now if you know, for example, small-scale miners are part of the people causing the damage. They are not that many as the present family. They are not that many, but they form a large part of the people who impregnated them. It means that we have a major problem there, and we have to deal with them. We have to talk to them so that we come out with some. They understand the issue.
A clinical psychologist, Dr. Joseph Osafo, has attributed the increasing incidence of instant justice in parts of the country to poor economic status and socio-cultural orientation of the attackers. Dr. Osafo, in an interview on Newsdesk a couple of hours earlier, indicated the best way to handle the challenge is to critically address these shortfalls in the lives of individuals involved in these attacks before seeking to arrest and prosecute suspects.
This morning, the SABC News that were there to take coverage, some of their equipment were seized, but eventually it was retrieved again.
Apologies for that, but we also know that the public relations officer of the Greater Accra Regional Police, Efia Tenge, has however been explaining the difficulties the police has been facing in prosecuting suspects. She says if the public continues to refuse to volunteer information to the service, it will be impossible to make any case for victims.
In building up a docket or in prosecuting somebody, it's not just one party. The person also has the right to a lawyer. Then the police, one, need to build their case. You need to be able to prove beyond all reasonable doubt that Mr. A or B has committed this offense. So in the process, if we are not able to gather all the necessary and hard evidence we need, then at the end, we have not been able to prove our case. We have not been able to establish the guilt of that person. Sometimes we get these people arrested. The very minute, sometimes we may even go to a community like what we are saying. We try to gather evidence. People who are there, who were even witnesses to the case, do not even want to come out and volunteer information. They say, oh, I don't even have anything to do with the police. A person may come, willingly decide to even support the work of the criminal justice or even support the police in the first place. At the end of the day, you have the mother or the father calling, please, don't get involved. Because when it gets too far, probably we may not be able to defend you. So where you have started, just stop. We have people who have, in a way, a number of ways, tried to assist. But sometimes they are compelled by situations, they are compelled by relative friends. And before you even realize, they don't even want to support again.
We can now hear clinical psychologist Dr. Joseph Osafo, who says that the problem is as a result of the socio-cultural orientation of attackers.
If people perceive that this is error, and unfortunately that same perception appears to be in tandem with what is on the ground, then there's a problem. So I think that we need to look at that, but I'm still interested to ask this question as I build this point. Will this happen in East Legon? Will this happen in other areas? There's a very strong link between socioeconomic status, for example, and some criminal behaviors. And that is often found in certain inner cities, slums and stuff like that. You are not likely to find some of these very uncontrolled mob actions in very organized settings. So maybe we have to look at some of those fine socioeconomic indices as well. What is the idea? Is the idea to cause chaos so that people may lose their sense of individuality and in the process loot, which we know does happen in some instances. Others just get involved and hey, and then immediately those who are around or scatter, then they have the chance to loot. So I guess that is a mixture. There are so many factors: psychological, psychosocial, cultural, perceptions of what others may think with regards to justice.
Still on this, the Nima Neighborhood Watchdog Committee is accusing the Ghana Police Service of not doing its work in terms of bringing discipline into the area. The comment comes after another mob attack in that area launched on a man suspected to be a murderer. The video of the attack has been made available to Joy News. The police say it has been difficult to do its work quickly due to the kind of legal systems in Ghana. But Amadou Ibrahim, the chairman of the committee, says that is not the case. We'll hear from him shortly, but first, Maxwell Agbagba has been to Nima to interact with some of the residents.
Some of them, the police even knew them very well as criminals or as those who are bad nuts. But when they come, we don't know why the police can't take any action on when things of this nature happen. And you see that this particular person, they are those who are doing it. And this is not the first time. They have been doing it off and on.
And indeed, I wanted to ask you, how often do these things happen? Because it seems Nima is getting the notoriety for this.
Of course, it's getting worse now. I can bet you during the time of late Awuni Awutube, when he was in Nima became silent. Even you can't find even a drug or a weed to buy. He helps us and we help ourselves. So whenever you don't have a leadership within the police system that care for the community, it looks like everybody takes the law into his own hands. So
you are claiming that when the ACP Awuni was in the neighborhood, Nima was quiet, you were not hearing anything?
When he was the divisional commander in Nima, Nima was silent. Even the police can bear witness to that. The whole nation can bear witness to that. And even the people in the community right now, they are chasing us, pleading with us to come back, because we have surrounded ourselves and then we are now having our peace.
So you mean that you've left the community?
We are in the community, but we are just looking at them. Because you can arrest someone right now, hand him over to the police. By the end of the day, we know each and every distance you have to get a bail. But later, to even enforce the law on that particular issue, you find it dangling. And later, it becomes useless.
Based on what you're telling me, it seems you're already frustrated at the...
We are really frustrated.
So you're saying you've washed your hands of this?
We didn't wash our hands completely. Those who come to us for any help, we do give. But formally, we do go patrol morning, afternoon, evening, even in the night.
As in the watchdog committee?
During the watchdog time. But now these are some of the things that we just wash our hands, because we don't trust the way the police are handling us.
You seem to be saying that the police are not doing what they ought to do.
They are not doing.
Okay, but if they are not doing, that's why you are the watchdog committee. Why wouldn't you encourage your people to rather send such suspected, not even criminals yet, to the police so that they deal with them?
Actually, up till now, as I told you,
and collaborate with the police.
We are in collaboration. We are okay. Nothing like, but whenever things comes out like this, you have to see the facts.
Abbas.
Yeah. My aim is that people should beat thieves without reporting them to police, because when you look at the issue, sometimes they can report some of the thieves to police station. That very day, people come there and bail the person. Finally, even if the case went to court, they will say that they will give the person like the day that you use and pay the money. At least, can you imagine if you have your 10 million and somebody come and steal the money, and police, even if the law catch the person, they say that a day the person to pay 1 cedi for you. How will the money benefit you? And more to the point, some of the thieves, you can go and bring those who go and bail him. You see police come and defending him. And if you don't have money to give them bribe, you can't even get your right for the police station. And this time, some of the police, they are not dealing with justice. That is why we are beating them.
Wow, interesting. Clearly, it looks like Abbas is kind of like disenchanted in the justice system. Well, they say the wheels of justice grind slowly. But let me find out from you. No, sit down. Let me find out from you, Farouk. Farouk, why do people do this?
My English, no, I go take the broken English.
Yeah,
me, I can experience at my place. Some time ago, they come say they want to take Okada here. So the guy say he want to take my brother go Abusunka, he go buy goods, go to Achimota. But Achimota, he carry and go Jaolo inside. He say I go Achimota, say the person say he come out go Jaolo. So later I go there, we come out pistol plus knife. No, we call it the motor. So I say such a person, if you get her in San Justice, so we say, you know, go feel we say police go can't carry, and you yourself go feel do action. Sometimes maybe so in the worry where you get go feel extra patient. If they thief your tina, it go pain you you suffer for long years. The way somebody go count some seconds, we carry the thing go. So if you see so no, you go feel say may I go police station, no, you go take action.
You're also watching news today on Joy News. Still ahead, if Kwame Nkrumah had not been overthrown in 1966, Ghana would have been one of the best democracies in the world. That's according to the chairman of the Convention People's Party, Professor Edmund Dele. More shortly.